What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you for tuning back into the Grifford Show. Today we're coming at you with our top 10 most anticipated movies of 2018.
I know normally you probably do this at the beginning of the year, but January's never really any good for movies, so we decided to make ours in February.
Better late than never. Let's get into it.
In no particular order, we start off with our favourite Merc with Mouth in Deadpool 2. Brought to you by new director David Leitch. Not much is known about the plot, but if it's anything like Leitch's other films, Atomic Blonde and John Wick, you can expect a lot of high-class action, and as with Deadpool, a lot of fourth wall breaking humour. Tagging along are debutant heroes Domino and Cable. I'm looking forward to this film because Deadpool's one of my favourite Marvel characters, and it's got Ryan Reynolds in it, and who doesn't like Ryan Reynolds?
So next up we have the latest from Disney Pixar, and it's the long-awaited sequel of Incredibles, Incredibles 2. You know, we've only been waiting 14 years for this movie, but who's counting? There's not much that is known about the plot at the moment, but if I had to guess, I'm sure it's just going to pick up immediately from the first film, and the Parr family are going to take on the Underminer in some insane cartoon action. Who knows? Pretty much everyone is back doing the voices. Samuel Jackson's back as Frozone, and John Ratzenberger is reprising his role as the Underminer. This film is going to be filled with adults, okay? We've been waiting for this film for over a decade, so don't be bringing your kids along who don't know what it means to us, okay?
Next up, we have Black Panther. This is the last instalment in the MCU before the big one, which we'll get onto later. The film stars Chadwick Boseman as T'Challa as he returns to Wakanda to take over the throne after his father's demise in Civil War. He is joined by Walking Dead's Denai Guerrera and Oscar-nominated Daniel Kaluuya of Get Out fame, and what can be assumed as antagonist Michael B. Jordan. With a soundtrack produced by Kendrick Lamar, I can't think of many more reasons to be excited for this film other than maybe director Ryan Coogler saying a lot of the fight scenes and action scenes being inspired by African martial arts and such films as The Kingsman and Creed, the latter of which was directed by Coogler before Black Panther. And let's face it, Black Panther was clearly the coolest thing in Civil War.
So next up we have Tomb Raider, and now this is the second attempt to transfer the iconic video game heroine to the big screen. Angelina Jolie did it before, but this time we have Alicia Vikander stepping into the role of Lara Croft, and it looks like the film is taking inspiration from the rebooted video game series. Now, what the games did really well was take this fragile woman and turn her into this hardened survivalist, and it looks like with the film approach, it looks like they're just completely bypassing all that and going straight to her being a ice pick wielding badass, and I'm really looking forward to it. If you haven't seen the trailer already, head over there now because there's a incredible rendition of Destiny's Child Survivor, and I think it just fits really well with the trailer, so check it out.
Next up, we have Avengers Infinity War. This is what the MCU has been spending 10 years building up to. It's about to hit the fan as Thanos finally gets off his ass in order to complete his Infinity Gauntlet, as he takes on the Avengers, who are joined by the likes of Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, Black Panther, and the Guardians of the Galaxy. Not much is known about the plot, but if it's anything like the comics, you can expect a lot of blood, sweat and tears, and that's just from the audience. I'm personally looking forward to this movie because, I mean, who isn't? It spent 10 years building up to this, and DC, this is how you go about building up a cinematic universe.
So next up we have Ready Player One, and this is a pop culture bonanza in the most amazing way. The film is set in a dystopian world where the creator of a virtual reality game bites the dust, and before his death he sets everyone the task of trying to find his Easter egg, and whoever finds it wins his fortune. The film has a lot of interesting pop culture references and characters, including the likes of Chucky, Mortal Kombat, Battletoads, the Iron Giant, the DeLorean from Back to the Future, among many others. The list could go on. And the only thing I'm a little bit worried about is that the CGI is going to take over, but given the virtual reality concept, it could work. And as well as this, the biggest thing I'm looking forward to is the insane action, really. You'll see what looks like Mario Kart on steroids and just a fucking race through the streets of New York, and it looks unbelievable. I'm really looking forward to it.
Next up, we have Wreck-It Ralph 2, Ralph Breaks the Internet. 6 years after the first film was set, a wireless router has been installed in the arcade, and Ralph and Vanellope have to traverse the internet in order to save the Sugar Rush game. John C. Reilly and Sarah Silverman reprise their roles along with Jane Lynch and Jack McBrayer. I look forward to this film because the first Wreck-It Ralph was such a big hit, even though it was kind of under the radar, and I have complete faith that this one's going to be a hit as well.
So I'm a massive horror fan, so it wouldn't feel right if there wasn't one on this list. So that's why next up we're going to talk about A Quiet Place. Directed by and starring John Krasinski, along with his real-life wife Emily Blunt, The film follows a family living in isolation through fear of an unknown threat that, if it found them, would kill him. So they got to stay silent. The trailer for this film should be studied by trailer editors because this is how you make a film look intriguing as hell. Now, one of the main things I'm looking forward to is that it looks like the film has nailed one of the main things you need for a great horror film, and that is sound design. So just from the trailer alone, the film's family are communicating using only sign language, and they're walking on sand trails to avoid detection from this unknown beast that could rip them to shreds. And I cannot wait for this film to come out. It looks like a good one.
Now we have Aquaman, the next solo film in the DCEU, brought to you by director James Wan. Although he's directed such films as Saw, Insidious and The Conjuring, he's proven that he's capable of action and emotion with the Fast and Furious 7 movie. Set after the Justice League, film follows Jason Momoa's Arthur Curry as he reluctantly returns to Atlantis to take over his duty as the king. The film also stars Amber Heard as Mira and Patrick Wilson as assumed antagonist Ocean Master. I look forward to this film because it's always interesting to see a film being directed by someone else, and with Zack Snyder taking a backseat, I mean, I feel that was why Wonder Woman was so successful with Patty Jenkins' vision of the DCEU. And I feel that it can take a different tone to Zack Snyder's typical moody, dark visual tone.
And finally we have The Predator, which was originally conceived as a reboot of the sci-fi action franchise until director Shane Black came aboard and said he wants to make a sequel because he wanted to continue to explore the Predator mythology, and I'm all in for that. One of the main things that's got me excited about it was a quote from Shane Black, which I'm going to read right now. "I made a condition of my participation with Predator that it be the same rating as the first movie, and the first movie was rated R. In other words, I don't want to cut away every time the Predator does something violent." That's exactly what you want to hear as a Predator fan. So the film stars the likes of Keegan-Michael Key, Olivia Munn, Boyd Holbrook and Thomas Jane. We are yet to receive a trailer for it, which I'm really annoyed about because I want to see exactly what I'm getting myself in for. So hopefully a trailer comes out soon.
Those were our top 10 most anticipated movies for 2018. On the screen now is a list of films that we are looking forward to but couldn't make a list unfortunately. And remember, these are our opinions. What films are you looking forward to this year? Let us know in the comment section below.
And as always, don't forget to leave us a like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe to the channel for more great movie content such as this, and click the bell notifications so you can stay up to date with every new video that we release this year. And also find us on social media, we're on there, so go ahead and give us a follow. See you later. Ooh, what's high five?